This other heifer over here she is a March heifer. Again, a very nice heifer, showing lots of breed character again, and a lot of back end, a lot of width through her top. I particularly like to keep my cattle wide behind the shoulders, wide through their tops, and the other thing I look for is lots of length. I'm not too fussy about height. Height is something that reflects how much light is underneath them. It doesn't make much more money in the factory for the people who buy them.
Yes. So based on what you're telling me right now, so you have 90 cows.
Yes.
And you're a full-time farmer, one of the few Angus farmers in Ireland, and so you try to have them as economically as possible.
There's no much point in me getting big prices for animals out at shows if I have spent the price of them animals in the feeding.
Yes.
So what I must do is I must make my books tally up at the end of the year, and all my cattle have to pay for themselves.
Yes.
And that's what my business is. It is keeping my business in the black. Also my cows in the black, but that's okay.
So you try to, rather than feed them well, you try to just breed them well.
I try to breed them well, and I try to breed for the characteristics I like.
All right. And how do you sell? So you have 90 cows with, and every cow gets a calf every year.
Yeah.
And so what do you do with those calves? Do you sell them all alive as breeding stock?
I sell a lot of the bulls. Go off, like this young bull up here now. He was a year old in April, and he will be a year old next April, and he will be sold in March, April and May, maybe in May at 13 months.
Okay.
And so he goes off maybe for dairy heifers, to breed dairy heifers. And the one thing I need is I need all my calves, no matter how good they are, I need them to be born handy and to produce calves of light birth weights. All my cattle, I weigh every calf, and have done for 15 years. I weigh every calf so that I know what they are likely to produce. Whether the figures say they are easy calving or not, if they are a heavy birth weight calf, for me, they do not go to a man to breed dairy heifers. I think this is only common sense.
So you've been selecting for that trade for all your life, basically?
I've been selecting that trade for the last 10 years and paying more emphasis on the easy calving for dairy heifers. Now, my dad also bred with the dairy heifer market in mind, and he bred cattle that would be easy calve for the dairy market. So you ask how I sell to a lot of repeat customers who are satisfied that the bulls I sold done the job that they were required to do. And I generally take bulls to sales, and I will advertise what sales I go to, so my customers will know which sales I will be at, so they can buy at the sales.
Okay.
I also sell bulls at home, but it is harder to get bulls into better money at home, so that's why I take them out, and then I know how much to charge my customers at home.
Yes, yes. And so I'm from Germany, and in Germany it isn't very popular to have an Angus bull on dairy cows. So tell us quickly, why are Angus bulls so popular in dairy herds in Ireland?
Well, very clever people within the meat industry have identified the fact that Angus beef has a certain extra advantage in the marketplace. It contains some marbling, and it leaves it tender and easier cooked. And them men see, to get more Angus beef, they see that the dairy industry also has marbling. The Holstein Friesian has lots of marbling. So when an Angus is put on a dairy Friesian cow, you get a cheap beef unit. That, for the first 12 months, looks probably awful because it has been reared on a bucket. But when it comes into its second season, it starts to take on the shape of an Angus. And if we use Angus that have good wide tops and lots of length, then they will end up being profitable carcasses for the customer. And then whoever takes the young calf from the dairyman, he can make money. And at the end of the day, it's all about everyone along the supply chain making money.
How many of your bulls do you sell to dairy herds?
I would sell about 80% every year to dairy herds, 4% or 5% to pedigree men, and the rest will go to suckler men. Bulls may end up being castrated or done away with, culled out of the thing, because if I sell poor bulls to customers, they will not be repeat customers, and repeat custom is the life of trade. It's a very true saying, you can't cod people, you'll only cod people once. So I'm not in the business of trying to cod anyone. I want to, because the last person I want to cod is myself. And I went to Canada one time, and I met a breeder who sells a lot of bulls, and he told me he weighs his calves at birth to the last half kilo. And I said, why a half kilo? He said, because he said, if I get a breeder up from Texas looking for 16 bulls, he wants consistency in his calves and in his animals. And he said, that is why he said he must have them all the exact same weight at birth or near enough.
You've told me a very good story about your breeding principle. So what do you look for in a good cow? And yeah, just tell us the story again.
Well, this young cow, while she does not look much, this cow has calved down at 24 months, and she has reared her first calf. Some pedigree breeders and lots of other breeds will calve down at 3-year-old, and they will look absolutely beautiful. This cow does not look beautiful. She's actually a bit like them dairy heifers that calves I talked to about a minute ago. But next year she will look an awful lot better, because she will be a year older, and then she will have her second calf. But this calf will be as good as any calf, as good as an old cow's calf.
Mm-hmm.
And what I need for in a heifer, I need them to be feminine. I want heifers that will calve down every 12 months. I need them to have milk, and I need to have that they will be good mothers.
Mm-hmm.
You can breed off cattle that are too awkward and they do not make good mothers. They will puck their calves, they will be stupid, and they will be awkward at calving. I want them very docile as well, that if I do have to help out to get a calf to drink, that I can actually put my hand in under it, take some milk from the cow and give it to the calf without getting a kick.
Hmm.
Most of my cows I can do this, most of my heifers I can do this.
Yes. So when looking at how good a cow is, you don't only look at the cow, but also very much at the calf.
If I am picking a cow calf, I want a cow that has reared her calf well.
Yes.
There is no point in having a beautiful big fat cow with a rat of a calf behind her that got no milk. The cow must feed the calf. The cow has to eat off grass to feed the calf, and she must turn that into milk to feed the calf into a good calf.
Hmm. So to evaluate a herd, it is a very good idea to just look at all the calves. How do the calves look? And if they look good, it doesn't matter if the mothers are not fat, because they're doing their job by looking their calves good.
I would comply with that totally, because the cows are there to produce the calf and get him into as heavy a weight as they can at weaning. And the cows that do that good job have set the calf up for life.
Yes.
Plus the cow that has enough of milk, she will have enough of beastings, and she will leave her calf, and it will have a good disease resistance for the first couple of months. And the calves that have a good disease resistance and start off well are less likely to get different things like pneumonia and different things in their lifetime.
Yes. I think those are just some really good cattle, really good genetics. And what I think is that all those cows I've seen here, they're not bred to any extreme. So they're not too big, too fat, too small, too high at the tail head. So they're just in the middle, and that is very consistent in this herd, I'd say.
That is something I strive for, to keep in the middle. I do not want extremes in any direction. Some people might laugh. I don't want them too big in the back end, because my maternal in a cow that's too heavy in the back end will not be that good maternally. She will not always calve down. We need cows that are somewhere in the middle. We do too far east is west. We must stay somewhere in the middle. We need to breed our cows just big enough, not too big. I like to sell my cows even young enough that I will get a good beef price for them, and I need enough length and size and weight to give me a good carcass.
Yes.
Because I will then turn around and use a young heifer coming in at 14 months, and she will calve down at 24 months, and that leaves me with a good cow herd, a good young cow herd.
You have a very nice head of a young heifer, and you showed this one as well, right?
I showed this one as well, yeah.
Yeah. Right, so John, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, George, for the video, and thank you very much for all your help.